morning and welcome to the EGMC show. I'm Emily Adania and today we are joined by Dr. Cassidy Dye, a pediatric doctor, and Megan Erickson, a registered dietitian. Dr. Dye, Megan, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
To begin, can you both tell me a little bit about what you guys do?
So, as a registered dietitian, I work in a pediatric facility that focuses mostly on children with health conditions resulting from nutritional inadequacies. It's my job to educate children and their parents so they can learn how to use the resources available to them to make healthy choices.
And as a pediatrician, I often work closely with dietitians to help these children with health problems and their families. One of the major issues we are seeing recently is a significant increase in bone fractures in children.
I've actually been noticing a lot of bone fractures myself, and I'm sure the viewers at home have been as well. Just the other day, I was dropping off my daughter at school, and it seemed like half the students had casts on. Can you guys explain to me a little bit about why bone fractures are so common in young children?
Yes, of course. Children are in a developmental period where their bones are developing and growing rapidly, so supporting this growth is very important. Today, what we've been noticing is that kids are not meeting the proper nutritional and exercise guidelines that are recommended to develop and maintain strong, healthy bones.
Megan, would you like to comment on this?
Sure. I work with kids, and today kids are drinking less milk than they used to. Milk is a great source of calcium, and unfortunately, kids are not getting enough calcium in their diets. Sugar-sweetened beverages and fruit juices are becoming increasingly common in the diets of children, which only affects bone health, but also increases tooth decay, obesity, and a risk for type 2 diabetes.
So Cassidy, can you tell us a little bit why calcium is so important for bone growth?
Calcium is crucial in bone mineralization. It's a component of hydroxyapatite, which is a major component of the structural aspect of bone, and it plays a major role in bone remodeling and bone strength. Children store calcium, which can then be used later in life. If calcium is not properly stored, the risk for osteoporosis greatly increases later in life. This is why it isn't uncommon for elderly people to break bones when they fall.
Are there other nutrients that are important for bone besides calcium?
Oh, of course. Vitamin D is essential for calcium to be absorbed into the bone. Phosphorus and magnesium are also minerals that are needed for strong bones.
What are some foods that you guys would recommend that are high in calcium?
So milk and dairy products are the richest source of calcium. There are some other foods that are fortified with calcium, such as orange juice and breakfast cereals. Some other foods like spinach, tofu, and almonds have calcium, but it's not as readily absorbed into the body. For this reason, we tend to recommend animal sources of calcium over those, such as milk and other dairy products, whenever possible.
So I know you guys recommend animal sources, but I know there's a lot of people who are lactose intolerant. Do you have any suggestions for those people?
So milk substitutes, such as soy milk and almond milk, are commonly fortified with calcium. If the child is not getting enough calcium through fortified foods and other food, I advise the parents to give the child a calcium supplement.
Thank you for your thoughts. I'd love to hear more about the parents' role after the break.
It's Bone Health Week at Payless. Come shop our wide selection of calcium-rich foods. Certain calcium-fortified cereals are on sale now. A wide variety of milks and Greek yogurts. If you're lactose intolerant, we have a wide variety of calcium-fortified soy and almond milk. Check out our calcium supplements in the supplement aisle. What a steal!
Welcome back to the EGMC show. For those of you who are tuning in, we are joined by Dr. Cassidy Dye and Megan Erickson. For parents who are watching, how can they find out if their child is at risk for low bone mineral density?
An area bone mineral density test can be performed on the child. From this test, a Z-score is calculated. A Z-score is a tool that we use to compare the patient to other children of the same sex, race, and age. In general, a range from -1 to 0 is normal, and a range from -2.5 to -1 is considered low. Values below -2.5 indicate more serious bone problems, which can include conditions like osteopenia and osteoporosis.
Are there any recommendations you guys have for parents who are trying to help their kids maintain a proper bone density level?
Encouraging activity is highly recommended. While diet is crucial, exercise is also essential. Allowing kids to play, run, and jump around causes force to be applied to the bones. This force increases the density of bone, which thus increases strength. As bones get stronger, the likelihood for fractures decreases, which is beneficial for both children and their parents.
What are some resources you guys would suggest to parents who are trying to get their kids to be more active?
So the local YMCA's are a great resource. They have recreational sports offered at low cost to parents. If that isn't affordable, you could ask around the neighborhood and see if there are other parents willing to have a play group. Decreasing screen time is really important, and spending more time enjoying activities that require getting up and moving around. It's really important to make it fun. By encouraging this behavior at a young age, children are developing healthy habits that will benefit them throughout their entire lives.
The NIH Osteoporosis and Related Bone Diseases Resource Center has a great guide for parents on kids and their bone health. There's great advice for how parents can support the development of their child, so I encourage all parents to check that out.
These sound like great resources to help prevent low bone mineral density. Say that a child is already struggling with inappropriate density levels. What are some resources for those people?
So there are actually 2 clinics in the area that specialize with bone disorders. Riley's Children's Hospital in Indianapolis and Lurie's Children's Hospital in Chicago actually have centers that are specifically made for children to get treatment for their bone disorder. And there are also some options in the area. NutriPledge, whom I've worked with in the past, meets with families and individuals to help them develop meal plans and educate their clients about nutrition and health. And it's also possible for a child to see a dietitian privately through a hospital or health center.
Thank you for those resources. All this information can be found on our website. Any last tips for our viewers?
Parents should always be aware that your actions have lasting repercussions on your children's health. Make sure your kids are staying active, consuming a balanced diet rich in the nutrients and minerals that are crucial for healthy living.
Thank you so much to both Dr. Dye and Megan for coming in and talking to us today. And now for the weather.